Hello to everyone. Welcome back to a new abiding daily devotional on the Beatitudes. This is your Pastor Yeti. We are in our day 4 according to what is given in our readings. Today we are in Matthew 5, verse 5. The Meek. I hope all is well with all of you, and that life, as we walk further in this very fresh new year to better outcomes, to new adventures, dreams. The meek. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The world wants us to believe that anyone who would allow others to control his or her life is weak and, therefore, to be despised. But Christ's example shows us the perfect the perfect picture of meekness. True meekness is anything but weakness. The essence of a biblical meek individual is someone who understands the God-given power that comes from brokenness and mourning, and who submits to the authority of the Master. This produces gentleness and peace, which bring life to those around that person. Jesus didn't ride on a stallion, leading an army. He didn't spend all of his time with the holy people. Instead, he ate meals with the tax collectors, prostitutes, and other sinners. Blessed are the meek sounds an awful lot like blessed are the weak to me. When I hear this phrase, I often picture a timid and wimpy person who allows himself to be bullied because he is too afraid to stand up for himself. The Greek word for meek in this instance is prios. Its root means gentle, mild, or tender. At first glance, that seems to affirm some of my beliefs about meekness. However, if we explore the uses of this word, we can get a better understanding of what Jesus meant. Gentle and soothing. Phraeus was used to describe a soothing medicine and a gentle breeze. In other words, blessed are those who are like a smoothing medicine and a gentle breeze. Have you ever met someone like that? When you talk with such a person, he or she has a calming effect on you. Unfortunately, we all have experienced people who are the exact opposite. When we are mourning, struggling, or going through a tough time, we run into people who are like rough sandpaper. If you're honest, we will admit that we have been abrasive toward others at times. A product of brokenness. Meekness is yielding control of one's personal will and giving it to God. The first two Beatitudes coincide with this one, because true meekness is a product of brokenness. When we are broken and begin to mourn, the result is meekness. It is a natural result of dependence on God. Paul shared the value of meekness in his advice to the Galatians. Brothers, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness. Considering yourself lest you also be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6, 1-2. Confrontation. The meek are teachable. Pride will hinder you from being meek. A meek person is teachable. You should cultivate a teachable spirit as a way of life. Meek people approach the Bible, church, and everyday life with a humble attitude, aware that they don't know everything or have it all together. Nothing is more obnoxious than a proud, arrogant person sharing his or her faith. On the other hand, nothing makes us want to learn about Jesus more than people who admit their feelings and meekly share what they have learned. When we are meek, we are teachable, and we invite others to learn more about the God we serve. Consolation, gentle, not spineless. The brokenness that creates gentleness does not produce spinelessness. When we become meek, we do not turn into cowardly, wimpy people. Just the opposite. A meek person is no longer flesh-driven, but spirit-directed. Think about Jesus' holy anger. In Matthew 11:29, he said, I am gentle and humble in heart. He was a gentle breeze and a soothing medicine to those who had been beaten and battered by life. However, when this same meek, mild Jesus was faced with superficial and self-righteous Pharisees he rose up and confronted them with bold authority. When Jesus was offended, defamed, and spoken evil of, he made no threats. We should not take this to mean that he didn't feel pain when he was defamed, but because he was secure in his dependence on God. He didn't depend on others' approval of him. How should we respond when people pick us apart and hurt us? We must trust that God will exalt us, that God will exalt us and defend us when we are treated unjustly. God will straighten things out at the right time. I give you some questions. What has been your reaction to the word meek throughout your life? Have you related it to weakness? Why? What appeals to you about the idea of being a gentle breeze and soothing medicine? To those around you, have you met someone who has been this sort of influence in your life? What doesn't appeal to you about meekness? Do you tend to be proud and unteachable? Are you quick to defend yourself instead of letting God do it? Confess this in prayer and ask for forgiveness. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Praos. Gentle, mild, or tender. May God bless you and protect you. May He hovers you with the healing of His wings. May He guide your road ahead and give you the instructions and knowledge by the Holy Spirit. God's blessings, and have a wonderful day. Blessings. Bye.